couple of things on jars that are really important. We talk about this throughout the book, but one is if you're making an extract that has lots of ingredients like this, you're going to displace a lot of spirit. And so the water level or the alcohol level is going to rise and rise with every ingredient that you put in. And you may not get all 16 ounces in the jar. If you use just like a 16-ounce jar, you fill it with ingredients, and then you're trying to pour in that 16 ounces of alcohol, you may not get it all in. So a couple points on that. Point number one, if you don't get it all in, it's better to have a little bit more ingredient and a little less spirit. If you're going to err on the side, yeah, of having more ingredients and maybe a little less spirit, that's okay. You're still going to get a great extract. It'll just be even a little more concentrated. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to shy away from ordering a jar that says 16 ounces or 8 ounces. And here's the reason why. When jar bottle manufacturers put the size of their jars in their marketing, they list the minimum the minimum fluid content that goes within. They all hold more. So before we actually did a trial on the 16-ounce Elena to see how much it held. And the alcohol went up to right about there. There's probably 17 and a half to 18 ounces of alcohol that fits inside of a 16-ounce jar. So there's a little more room than you think when you're actually filling it up. So a couple of points on that. Number one, if you buy an 8-ounce jar and you fill it with beans and then you just pour in 8 ounces of spirit, you might actually be pouring in 9 ounces of spirit if you're just filling it to the top. So measuring your spirit before you put it in is always important, because if you think you have an 8-ounce jar but it really holds 9 or 9.5 ounces worth of fluid, you're going to have too much spirit and maybe not enough ingredients. And so it's always wise to make sure that you measure the alcohol before you put it in. And so in our case, we did that with this jar, and we know that we can get 16 ounces in this one. It's going to be close with all the stuff in there.
It's going
to go very, very close
to the top.
So the point is that 16-ounce jars hold a little more than 16 ounce, and 8-ounce jars hold a little more than 8 ounce. And so make sure you're measuring your alcohol when you put it in, and don't just look at the size of the jar as sort of your point where you're saying, I'll just fill this up and I have exactly 8 ounces.
That's something we learned.
That's something that we've learned even recently, and it's just not always the case, that they do hold a little bit more. So just make sure that you measure it.
Measure it, yeah. And then also always measure your beans, right? We know this. This is one of the pitfalls people will run into, is they'll ask, how many beans do I put in this recipe? And all of our recipes, of course, are done by weight with the beans. So make sure you use one of your kitchen scales to measure out your beans so you know you're actually getting what you think you're getting.